Alright, hello and welcome back. This is the Siberian here, and we are on a Little House on the Prairie roleplay. Ha ha ha. Just kidding. We're on a battle replay with the new Swedish and Danish units. Now, I have not completed all the Danish roster, but enough to play a decent battle, and so I gave a couple of people who are active on the Discord the units early and getting a battle in. So I am playing as the Swedish and Gustav is playing as the Danish. This is a little bit of a shorter battle because Gustav is a little bit newer to there's a whole bunch of changes with the combat system. But I'd still recommend getting a drink. I got my soda water. Oh, there goes some artillery. I fired blindly at the hill. So, look at these. These are my lifeguard of horse. So many of them. There's 315. So some of the biggest changes, cavalry has more units, or more horsemen per unit, but they break much easier. Heavy cavalry will stick in a fight longer. Light cavalry, it does a great charge, but then is pretty useless. Stuck into combat or will break real quick. And so artillery is a bit more accurate, but only comes with less guns. So the Swedish guns I have with me are this experimental siege howitzer and a 3-pounder. This 3-pounder is super cheap. It can move a little bit faster, and it's really just like your little portable infantry gun. I was using my horsemen to scout, and they got hit by the Danish 12-pounder, so I haven't replaced the Danish artillery or cavalry yet, but all his infantry are custom. And so I'm actually going to put it in slow-mo and run through the units I have real quick. So I have 3 Varvade Swedish regiments. These are like enlisted troops. They get conscripted into service. Then I have a couple of Indelta regiments from Upland. Both are from Upland. Flanking this militia, Lantern, something like that. And look at that, lucky shot. Kills the horse, destroys the cannon. These are like your classic Karelians, with the militia in the middle. I have the Lifeguard of Foot, which is a massive unit, but you can only get one of them, and it's very expensive. And then 2 pikemen to protect this howitzer, and some cavalry, hussar, and this one is like a nobles. The Swedish nobles had their own cavalry unit. So that's it for me. It's not that many troops, although this in itself is like 2 whole units. So the Danish have a lot of their different infantry regiments. He didn't bring much cav, if any, which ended up hurting him. My artillery there is already falling back, but without further ado, let's kick it into gear. And oh yeah, here we go. Like that smoke trail on the explosive shot. That's a new addition as well. Some of the changes are, I've increased the range to 110 yards or meters or whatever it is. Sorry, I had to take a drink. So the max range is now 110, but if you fire at max range, maybe 1 or 2 enemy units or infantry will actually die. But if you fire within like 50 or 30, it'll wipe out 20, 30, 40 even troops in one volley. So holding fire is now like, if you can micro it, it can be devastating. Cavalry does it, is more effective against infantry squares. However, it breaks easier overall. So going into squares isn't just like an instant win. It does definitely help. So anyways, I saw his troops were strung out along this whole length of the ridge, and mine were mostly concentrated just on one left section. So I decided to commit to breaking his left flank. Now my troops are in range but holding fire, kind of below this ridge. I was hoping I could tempt him to fire on me first. Instead I charge forward, and the first true engagement is going to be kicking off here. The Danish Marines, gotta love it. So this is fairly long range, not getting many kills. Now he moves his troops forward. However, these fences really disrupt your units and make it hard for them to form all the way up. And so you'll see, as we got a second volley in now, more are dropping very quickly. So that's one thing to be aware of. Oh, and I sent in some Finnish light cavalry on the flank, breaks the Danish. Now the Swedish infantry is plugged bayonets. And they're charging in, even though these infantry are less than elite. So why he couldn't answer with a volley of his own here was because all this, the fences and walls, his troops get stuck trying to hop over them, and it really makes it hard to form your units up in time to form a line. Now that that flank is starting to crumble, I'm rushing forward my other infantry to point blank range. And these Germanic troops break. Artillery coming in. Ooh, some friendly fire. They're shaken, and there's more infantry coming up behind them. Now, this is an intense, quick little fight. Of course, I have a huge advantage because I've played this with these changes for a while now. These troops were unable to fire because their formation was disrupted. So far, a good flank. Oh, my hussars came running in. See, as you can see, they've already become shaken, wavering. They do all their damage on the charge, and then if they're left in combat, they'll break very quickly. That's the nature of light cavalry with these new changes. Nice explosive shot, disrupting the lines. Are the Danish gonna answer? It looks like they're about to. Let's watch the... Yeah, good volley by the Danish. Look at that. Swedes are dropping left and right. We're killing a good number of Danes too, but the Swedes are taking the worst of it. And they are shaken. Look at that, already down to 200, under 200. I think multiple units are firing at this one unit, and that breaks them. Look at that. So it's very deadly, but units will tend to break quicker but reform quicker, are the changes I've made so far. Regiments that are further away, suffering very few casualties. And I was having these guys charge. We can watch the massacre of this Varvade regiment who bravely broke the enemy lines over there, but they're very tired and are now going to receive hails of gunfire from the Danish as they charge forward. Let's follow them. That's pretty epic though. Swedish flag proudly held high. Oh, dropping like flies. Look at that. We'll stay here and watch them charge all the way forward. Alright, they've started the charge. Oh, but they get... Oh! Just look at that. I love how brutal the new distance changes are, and as you can see, this is definitely the kill zone, but you can fire, like I think we're in range or very close to in range from here. We're just both holding fire. I have my lifeguard of foot still untouched. I used them kind of callously in this battle. And then I have my cavalry assembling on the flanks. So there's the noble cavalry. The hussars are definitely wounded and they're now very tired. Moving forward, my infantry to fire. Alright, getting a couple kills. Nothing crazy, but nothing terrible. That one seemed like it got a few good ones. So yeah, we're at the edge of effective range, but we'll still be getting some good hits. These ones aren't firing, I'm not sure exactly why. I might have left fire at will off, which is silly of me. Now they're just standing there. And now my lifeguard of foot are moving forward. So this unit is very effective. It gives a small rallying boost around soldiers around it. And it's just massive. Oh, we missed a light cavalry charge that got shot at close range. But anyways, the lifeguard of foot is this huge unit. Very effective. Because it's so big. But at the same time, it is so hard to maneuver. So as you can see, I'm like running it forward to this position, but the whole time it takes forever just to get through these units, and then you have to wait till the last unit is in place until you can fire. So. But a volley from it will almost instantly break an enemy unit. So now they're going to be taken. I use them as a meat shield. Because I plugged bayonets with all the rest of my units. Let this one absorb a lot of casualties and then charge like a true Swede. This is the Danish lifeguard of foot, which you can get 2 of, but they're smaller in number. And this lifeguard of foot actually was beating my infantry charge, so I charged in all of my cavalry. So here's my lifeguard of horse, my Adelson for Fenor. I don't know, it's the Swedish noble cavalry, and we managed to break the Danish lines. And there we are, a nice short battle, but very intense. And as we can survey the battlefield, just look at all the Swedish bodies. And then once we reach the Danish lines, it's a lot of Danish bodies as they retreat. So the Danish deployed 240 more, or 221 more troops than I did. I lost 1,224. He lost 2,500 just because of that last charge. I ate up all those units who were there. Let's see what got the most kills. Oh, this light cat. Oh, because it ran down that whole flank. But overall, my two Varvid units that... Oh, this one was the one with bayonets plugged. They actually killed more than they lost, just barely. My howitzer got 62 kills, that's not bad. It's more than I expected. My pikemen I had in reserve to protect that, didn't see any fighting. And my 3-pounder got sniped right off the bat, so it wasn't very useful. But yeah, that was the battle with the new units. I will leave you guys. I know this is short, but hey, short and sweet, right? Easy to watch. You have no excuse not to watch it. Although if you're here, you already watched it. So, anyways, I will leave you guys with the cinematic outro. And until I see you next, have a good one. Bye.